Hi, everybody. Good day. Welcome to the session of resume building or CV building session. So now you are in the important state in your life that you are in the final year and you're going to go for the job. And those who are going for the job, it is mandatory for you guys to prepare a resume or the CV. So now I am going to tell you about how to prepare a detailed resume or CV and how to get through the selection of interview. So we will begin the session. So session's objective is by the end of the session, you will be able to explore and understand why a resume is needed when applying for a job. Understand how to structure a resume or CV as per your skills and qualifications. Develop an effective resume using standard format and AI feature on a job portal. Use active vocabularies for building a CV. Structure a covering letter or email and what information should be included. So this is the objective of the session, and I will make sure that you understand what a CV is really based for. Now coming to the introduction, what do you first we need to understand what is a CV and a resume. So both are a documentary representation. It's all about you and only about you. And it's all about your professional life, so not your personal stuff. So you need to include all your professional details, not over detail. Basic details and necessary details has to be included in a paper. That paper we call it as a resume or CV. Now we will understand the difference between what is a resume and what is a CV. So both are same, but there is a slight difference between a resume and a CV. So CV is something that is prepared by a fresher who doesn't have any kind of experience, including internship. So that kind of curriculum vitae we called as a CV, which will be having the information only about curriculum. Your education will be there inside that document, and that document we call it as a curriculum vitae. Now, resume. Resume is nothing but which will add your professional experience, your work experience, your internship experience. If you added that to your curriculum vitae, then we call that as a resume. So majority people call both CV and resume as resume only. Understood? Next, each resume is personalized and unique. It has to be unique. See, every person is unique in this world. The same way your resume should also be unique. So for every interview you attend, you need to submit an impressive resume. And keep that in mind. You need to know the contents of your resume and the real meaning of it, why the same is mentioned there, which is mandatory. See, the resume is all about you and only about you, and you are solely responsible for your resume. So whatever you have feed in it, you are responsible for it. So keep that in mind and try to create your resume unique. And for every interview you attend, you need to edit your resume accordingly. It is mandatory that you need to edit your resume according to the interview you are attending. Say, for example, if you are attending a interview for marketing or for a data scientist, and you need to prepare your resume for a data scientist accordingly. What and all responsibilities, what and all key skills that is required for you to be a data scientist, those things and all you need to put it on the top. Suppose if you are going to be a AI specialist. So if you want to be an AI specialist, then what and all skills that is required for an AI has to be mentioned on the top, right? So keep that in mind. Again, I'm telling each resume has to be unique and you are solely responsible for whatever you have feed in it. Next, writing appropriate career objective. I have seen a fresher in on his resume, though the objective is mandatory, what he has done is he has pasted this career objective, which I've mentioned here. I'm just reading it for you. Aspiring for a career that places me in a challenging position within a fast paced and learning oriented environment for developing my hard skills and interpersonal skills, and work with the dynamic skill that I have to demonstrate high productivity and be a role model for other employees in the organization. Now, I would request you to pause this video for few minutes. And I want you to read the objective again and again for twice. Can you guys do that? Can you please pause the video and read this career objective twice? Don't you feel this objective is very nice? It's very catchy, right? Yes. But you know what will happen to him? In his preliminary interview, the HR asked him about this objective. Like, what exactly is a fast paced and learning oriented environment? What are the hard skills that you want to develop? And what are the dynamic skills that you possess? See, all these things are tougher for a fresher. And, you know, if you see the previous slide, he has mentioned below that he want to be a role model for all the other employees in the organization. Is it possible to be a role model for all the employees in the organization? Yes. See, when the CEO of the organization is the employee of the organization, how can a fresher or an employee be a role model for the top CEO of the organization? Correct? You understood? So, while you're preparing your CV, career objective plays a major role. And just keep this in mind, a resume without career objective is seen to be a person has no goals in his life. So automatically, if a person doesn't have a career objective, then that okay, this person has nothing in his life. He has no aim, no goal. So he's just like that coming and going. So just keep the resume. It'll be like that. So keep that in mind and prepare your objective carefully. See, objective, what you need to prepare in your objective is very simple. You need to express why are you looking for a job? What kind of job you are interested in? And this career objective will be the top on your resume. It is mandatory as well. Career objective has different names, right? Yeah. So it's like career aspiration, summary, key points. So whatever it is, you need to give that on the top. Next, so you being a fresher, what to do when you are a fresher? You will be running a lot of stuff inside. So how will my resume be getting selected? Will I clear the interview? Will I be able to get a job? Just relax. Every person is unique in your own way. And you have born in this earth to achieve something in your life. Right? So a fresher is a fresh graduate, just by definition. Okay, so what to do if you are a fresher who has complete for regular job with other more experienced people? You need not to be worried. Yeah, what you need to do is you need to stress on something when you're speaking, or if you have your resume, you need to highlight certain stuffs on your resume. So, which plays a major role in your personality traits. So, personality traits is nothing but your strength, what kind of person you are. So, that is what personality traits is all about. So, example I've given here like friendly, deadline oriented, a good organizer, a flexible person. And trust me, if if you have given that fresh blood who's eager to learn many stuff, many things, okay, that word has more power. Being a fresh blood, whatever we are teaching or whatever training that the organization is going to give you can capture that easily. However, it is hard for an experienced person to grasp it. But then, yeah, experience can, persons even can, they can learn. But it will take little time for them to forget the previous process and to learn. So you guys need to know one small thing. You need to unlearn to relearn. Okay? And you need to mention specific courses or training programs which you might have attended and which might give you a good edge over those who have only the required qualifications and work experience. Being a fresher, highlight the fact that you are young, raring to go, and are ready to work hard to prove yourself. Many employees love to enthusiasm of the young and the go-go approach, which is very good for the organization. This is what I mentioned a little earlier. Also highlight the fact that you are a fast learner and that you are looking forward to start your career in an established and famous company such as XYZ company. If you're applying for that particular company, if you're not applying for that company, don't give it. Say example, if you're applying for Google, and if you want to work with Amazon, don't give, I would like to work with Amazon to Google, and don't give, I would like to work with Google to Amazon. That will create unnecessary problem for you. And please do keep this in mind that resume will get you for a call letter for an interview, not the job. And at the same time, this resume will help the employers to not to give you a job. So keep this in mind always. So overall, be sure that you project a positive attitude and a willingness to learn and put effort. So here are few tips to help you along the way in writing a fresher's resume. This is even implied for an experienced person. So I will tell in a detailed manner little later on. So keep these things has to be noted by you and keep everything in your mind forever and ever. This is not just for time being. This is for your life. So keep that in mind and read it. Yes. Okay. So here are a few tips to help you along the way in writing a fresher's resume. Be very clear of the objective for writing the resume. So without an objective, the resume will appear that you are unfocused. So which means that you don't have any kind of goal in your life. You are not seem to be very focused person. You wanted to, if you want to achieve something in your life, if you don't have that objective, then you seem to be, you are nothing. So keep that in mind. And remember, your resume is a marketing. It's just like a pamphlet, okay? So, say example, if you are walking on your streets, they will give pamphlets to do advertisements, right? So that if you see that pamphlet will have all the detail about the product. Say example, suppose if they are giving a pamphlet for a mobile shop, and in that pamphlet, they will make sure that all the required details about the mobile shop will be mentioned. And what are all the schemes there? They will mention everything on that pamphlet. The same way, this resume is nothing but a pamphlet. It is going to brand the product called you. Keep that in mind. And it should has only the required information about you. Remember, your resume is a marketing a brand called you, and it is a tool that you could use your benefit if it is crafted very well. If you didn't craft it, again, you will be in the hot seat. Okay? So see that you enlist your feature and benefits that they just can't be missed. So here, I want you to stop the video or pause the video again. Now we are going to do a small activity. If you ask me why, I'll tell you. We are going to do a small analysis for our own self here. Okay? Please pause the video. Now, oh yeah, before that, listen to what activity you're going to do and then you pass the video. Okay? First, take up a notebook, which is important. So you are going to spend 10 minutes of your time for your own self to understand your own self very well. Okay? What we are going to do is, have you heard about the SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis is nothing but S stands for strength, W stands for weakness, O stands for opportunity, and T stands for threats. This is a decision making tool which can be used if you're buying a car, you can use the SWOT analysis for that car and you can decide on whether to proceed purchasing or not. Clear? The same way, we are going to do this SWOT analysis to our own self to see how much we are in this marketing world. So this marketing world is nothing but the job world. Okay. Right. So now what we are going to do is segregate the page into four. On the top, write strength. Opposite to strength, write weakness. Below strength, write opportunity, and below weakness, write your threats. See, simple. Strength will give you opportunities. Opposite to strength will be your weakness, and that weakness will lead you to your threats. So I'm going to tell a small example about my own self with this SWOT analysis. So if you take my strength, I am a talkative person. I can stand for many time and I am an internationally certified soft skill trainer. I have done my master's in human resource management. So these are my lessons. I'm telling you example. I'm telling you very little just to make you understand what we are doing now. Opposite side, you're going to write the weakness. So for me, the weakness is my daughter. I have a small daughter and she will never let me go from her. So she want me to be around her often. So that is my weakness. My opportunity. What are all my opportunity if you see? I can be a teacher, I can be a trainer, and I can be an HR person. Though I've studied my international soft skill, I can start my own soft skill institution. Yeah, these are all my opportunities and my threats. My weakness is my daughter, right? Though, I have my ambition in my life is to become an international trainer. And I've got certification, but I couldn't able to travel abroad because of my daughter. So my ambition is getting a question mark here because of my daughter. So that is my threat. So now what will happen is, excuse me, if my daughter allows me to go to abroad to take training sessions, then the threat has gone. Correct? So now my daughter's weakness has gone. So they both come to strength now. She encourages me to go to abroad. So though she encourages me, I am getting a lot of opportunity to work with abroad. Understood? So what we are going to do is you're going to write your strength, your weakness, your opportunity, and your threats. Okay? After writing that, then run this video. Yeah. So by now, you would have written the SWOT analysis for your own self. Suppose if your weakness is more than strength, don't worry about it. You can check what are all the weaknesses you have, and you have ample of time to correct your weaknesses and bring it to strength. The same way, if your weakness is going, if it is getting reduced, your threats will also started reducing. So your threats will automatically convert it to opportunities. Understood? And now, why we have done SWOT analysis? What is the benefit? Why we've spent 10 minutes of our time to understand and analyze about our own self? So this is what we are going to do. See that you enlist your feature. So second point I'm reading. See that you enlist your feature and benefits that they just can't be missed. It just on your resume, what you're going to do is you are going to write something called personality traits, your strength, which is nothing but your strength. So that depicts that what kind of person you are, that you can get it from your strength. And what kind of jobs are available for you in the market that you will come to know through your opportunities. If, see, every time before you apply for a job, you will get a job description, JD, from the interviewer. Yeah, what you need to do is after collecting that JD, you need to job description, you need to go through everything in a detailed manner. They will give you everything very clearly, like what are all the responsibilities, what are all the roles that you're going to handle, what are the do's and don'ts, what is the eligibility criteria. Everything will be given in a detailed manner in the job description. If you cross check the SWOT analysis with the job description that is given to you, if those things are getting matched, then you are the right person for that job. And now what you need to do is remember that the resume is to get you an interview, not a job. So don't go into too much of details. So you need to be clear and conscious that what you need to include. Okay? And resumes are usually meant to be scanned, not read in detail initially. So you need to highlight heads will make the information easy on the eye. What happened here is on your job description, they will give the keywords like enthusiastic, energetic, fresher, and oh, communication skills has to be there. If they know this particular language, then it will be an added advantage. So like that, they will give everything in job description. So what you need to do is you need to highlight them. And yeah, nowadays what happened is all the resumes are being scrutinized by AI. So AI is being fed by the HR of the organization. So whatever the keywords that is given in the job description are going to feed inside the AI. So when you give your resume, that resume will automatically screen for those keywords, for those degrees, and it will tell the HR whether it is selected or it is rejected. So nowadays, many AI portal is available for you to check your resume to get your score done. So after preparing a resume, you guys can check very well with those AI to know on which level your resume is. Understood? And you need to use action and power words to add life to your resume. I have attached the vocabularies or the action words that can be used by you on your resume in the last slide of this session. And most importantly, You need to arrange the information in chronological order. So chronological order is nothing but timely. What you have done recently has to be there on top. And what you have done in the past has to go down. Say example, if you have done a post graduation, now you are doing post graduation, or you might do undergraduation. So if you're doing undergraduation, you can add, suppose if you're doing post graduation, you can add your post graduation on top, undergraduation below, and then what you have done in past has to be attached below. If you are doing undergraduation, then your undergraduation should be on the top and followed by what and all you have done. If you've done a diploma or you have done your 12th, has to be given below. Understood? Excuse me. Next, check the advertisement posted. So this is what I said. Advertisement is nothing but the job description. So check the advertisement posted and use the keywords in your resume to match with what the employer is looking for. Automatically, your resume will get shortlisted if you are doing the same. And you need to highlight the positivities. What and all positives you have, you can highlight them and place yourself in the reader's shoe and visualize his or her reaction when they are reading it. You need to keep that in mind always. And never include irrelevant datas and details. I'll tell you what are all the irrelevant datas and details little later. Show what you know and how varied your knowledge base is. You need to show them and highlight the skills you have picked up in different fields, which could be benefit you to multitask. You need to highlight it. You need to highlight those skills, specific skills. So if you see the advertisement, you will be knowing what are all the skills that is required for them. Suppose if you have extra skills which is related to that skill that they have given, then you can add that very well. But keep this in mind, don't add too much of information. Again, that will be, you know, make you in hot seat. Keep that in mind always. Use an appropriate font which is no smaller than size 10. Limit the length to not more than 2 pages. Basically, before it was 2 pages, now it is mandatory that you need to maintain a single page. But for experienced person, you can't maintain single page. It can be of 2 page, no problem. Ask someone to review your resume before you send it so that any flaws can be picked out and rectified. Also, ask them to ask you questions based on your resume. This is very much important because if they ask you why you have given this, what you have done here, if they ask any questions with your resume and you are solely responsible to answer it, keep that in mind while you're framing your resume. So, few things recruiters generally do not like to see on a resume. First thing, colorful or glossy paper and flashy fonts. Your resume is a formal document and it is an official document. Keep it simple. See, always keep it simple and whatever it is. Yeah. So you can use a plain white A4 size paper and a formal fonts like Times New Roman, Verdiana, Calibri, or Arial. But mostly Times New Roman is preferred. Okay? And mentioning resume or CV on the top, the person who reads the resume very well know that it's a resume. So when you receive a newspaper in the morning, have you seen what will be the heading of the newspaper? Will that be the name of the newspaper, or they have mentioned newspaper on the top? Definitely not, right? Because you know that you're reading a newspaper. The same way, do not mention resume or CV on the top of the resume. Keep this in mind always, that your resume should start with your name only. Your name is the heading. Say example. See, pamphlets and all they are distributing, as I told you earlier. If it is a mobile shop that they are opening shortly, they the pamphlet will not have the heading as pamphlet. It will have the heading about only the name of the shop. The same way, your resume should carry your name only. Coming to photographs. See, photographs are something which is very personal to you. Nowadays, in many apps like Canva and all, there, many sample resumes, if we see, we can see a lot of images they have pasted here and there and all, which is not at all required. There are three things you need to keep in mind. One is resume, another one is CV, and the third one is the profile. Okay. Mostly profiles are used by the um, invitees, or those who are coming to as a celebrities, or as a paid extra faculty. Those, for lecturers, and for some conferences they are coming from outside. Those people will carry a profile. That profile is just to maintain it's just a document that will be maintained by the colleges or corporate to for audit purpose. Just if they are coming for auditing and all, they'll show, see, these people have come to our college, come to our organization to give these kind of training sessions, these kind of sessions and all we have conducted. Just for that purpose they have. Those profiles will be colorful. Those profiles will have photograph of the trainer who has come. It is for the purpose of audit. Those profiles can't be your resume. Okay. Now, photograph. You are not supposed to attach your photograph until or otherwise it is asked for. So certain jobs like high quotient glamour jobs like cabin crew, front office executive or model, actor, actress, they need beauty. For them, beauty plays major role. So they will see the beauty. For that beauty only, they are going to get the job. For them, it is mandatory that photo is has to be attached. Then, for many other workers who are going to use their brain, for them, beauty is not the matter. Their brain is the matter. So they are not supposed to attach their photograph. Photo is something you're personal. You're not supposed to give it to everybody. We will not give our photographs to everybody, right? The same way, don't attach photograph until it is asked for. Okay. Then the usage of I. Do not use the I word in your resume. Many candidates write, I worked as a team leader, or I am this person, I have got this certificate, I was awarded. Like that, many, many times I is coming. See, this resume is all about you. So you need not to mention I often. So instead, you can use worked as a team leader, have, have completed, otherwise completed this course in this university. Because that resume is all about you. So you need not to mention I often. Next, spelling mistakes and grammatical errors. Strictly no. No spelling mistakes, no grammatical mistakes. You have to do a proofread before you submit your resume. Proofreading mandatory. Yeah. So try to do the proofreading. Sometimes when you are creating the resume on your eyes, some mistakes will not be get caught. but the other person can view it easily. So give your resume to your friends, to your family members, ask them to do the proofreading, ask them to ask you more questions based on that, so that you will be knowing any mistakes is there or not. And you have Microsoft Word. So if you give spell check, grammar check and all, it'll show you easily nowadays. So keep that in mind. Spelling mistakes, grammatical errors, big no. Right? Next, lies. Do not lie anything about your past or about anything, Example, I know a friend, we both joined an organization together. So what she has done is on her resume, she has given her experience. She worked in another organization for 6 months. And what she has done, she has added 3 months extra because that organization HR is her friend. So she thought, who's going to find it? Because she has the experience certificate for that many months. So she has added extra on her resume. And she submitted it and she got the job. And when she was working, all of a sudden, the HR team came and they just asked her to get out of the office. They just fired her. And we were worried. Why? What happened? Then I went and asked the HR. They said, no, she has lied on her resume extra. She has added her experience extra. And then we find it was the fault. It is their friends' communication and they have made it like that. What happened? Not only here her job went, even the previous organization, that particular HR job is also gone. So keep that in mind. Never ever lie anything because I've seen many candidates, they will lie, if they don't have any hobbies. You need not to mention hobbies on your resume. I've seen people write about hobby as reading books. Immediately the HR will ask, what kind of books you read? And they'll be caught if they can't tell. Suppose if they're telling, if they know two books, okay, if they're telling this book I read, that book I read, okay, you've read all these things. Can you tell me which is your favorite part in that? You might not know whether the HR has read that book already. If you lie again, you'll get caught. So keep that always in your mind. Never ever lie anything in your interview and never ever lie anything on your resume. Because whatever is there on your resume, you are solely responsible for that. Next one, abbreviations or jargons that are difficult to understand. So people screening your resume usually belongs to the HR department. And if they do not understand what the abbreviation or jargon means, they might simply dump your resume in the trash can. So every time when you are about to use jargons or abbreviations, keep this in mind. You want to get job or you want your resume to go to the trash can. Yeah. So please avoid using abbreviations and jargon. So abbreviation is nothing but if you are a data scientist, don't give DS. Just give data scientist. AI, artificial intelligence. Yeah. Now, current or expected salary. So leave it to be discussed while negotiating the salary. Never ever mention current or expected salary on your resume. Big no for that. Next, irrelevant details. Okay, irrelevant details like your father name, mother name, your full permanent address, your marital status, your gender, passport number. Yes, even date of birth is also not required, but sometimes, yeah, what happened? They might born earlier, but they would have done their college later. So to understand the gap, might ask you to attach. They are asking you to attach your date of birth nowadays, but that is also not mandatory again. If they ask, you can tell. Yeah, so don't add any irrelevant data and reference. Please do not include them until it is asked. Okay. See, some particular organization, some HR consultancies, if you're going for job through HR consultancy, then they might be calling and telling you from this consultancy you're going, you need to mention on the top of the resume that you are from this particular or you were referred by this particular HR consultancy. At that time, you can mention referred by that particular HR consultancy. Otherwise, don't give any kind of references. If it is asked, then give. And please don't write this line. Reference available on request. No, a big no for all such things. Okay. Now we are going to see about an anatomy of a skill-based CV, which is nothing but a resume. Okay. So your heading should start with your name only. So just below your name, you can add your town, not the full address, just the town, your mobile number, your email address, your LinkedIn profile. Suppose if you are a blogger, if you have your blog, you can add your blog link also. Not a problem. And if you have lot of projects done online, if you have GI Hub link or any such links, yeah, you can very well add them on your resume on the top. Now, next, below that, your desired job title. If you want to work as an AI, then mention artificial intelligence. If you want to work as a data scientist, you can mention data scientist. Give your title. Don't give fresher. Fresher not needed. Instead, just give the profile name, what you want to work, and introduce yourself in this session as a this is your opportunity to showcase who you are and what you can do. So that job title is important. Say, for example, an experienced retail manager with 12 years of management and people development experience, strong entrepreneur skills, and logical mindset that leverage untapped potential for high street retail outlet. Now seeking a new opportunity to lead a retail business in the stationery, pet care, or furniture niche. This is an example of summary. So below the title, you can give this kind of summary if you are an experienced person. If you are a fresher, then give career objective, what kind of role you are looking for, why you need a job. Understood? Next, key achievements. Add as many skills as you can in bullet points format. Say, for example, team leadership, mentoring and empathy, bilingual. So these are the examples. So team leadership, give an example where you have been a team leader or give example that you have if you have leadership ability, then remove that team, just give leadership and just give an example where you've been a leader. Okay, then if you are an experienced person or if you have gone for internship experience, then you need to give something called work experience or internship experience. Below that, you can add your company name, your start date and end date. You need to give a job title. So what role you've played for. And you need to write those lines. What are the roles and responsibilities that you have there? You can give whatever you work there, you can give them there. Next, education and vocational qualifications. All of your education and vocational qualifications should be added here. You do not have to list your grades unless you have recently completed your education. Means if you are a fresher, right? Or if you have taken a gap and you're going to apply for a job again, then you need to give your grade. If you are experienced and you're still working and you're continuing your work, you need not to attach any kind of grades. Okay? And don't forget to add them in chronological order. Means what you have done recently has to be there on top. What you did in your past has to come down. For example, 3A levels. So English, yeah, 3A levels you need to mention. Next, English language, music, photography. 9 GSC grade, BD, piano, grade 5 in practical musicianship. So you can give like commas and you can add your vocational qualifications like that. And now comes your hobbies and interest. Okay, here is a twist. So, say example, your hobby might be different and your interest might be different. But when it comes to a resume, you what kind of job you're gonna go, that should be your interest. Do you do anything outside of work that will be of real value to your application, such as work related interest, volunteering, or any impressive achievements can be added here. See, if you're a sports person, it is an added advantage. You can add here. If you are an NSS or NCC candidate, scouts, you can add it here. Yeah. And if so, describe what you do here in 4 or 5 lines. If you don't have anything that will make you stand out or that, just leave it. Okay? Don't put the heading like hobbies and interests. No, not applicable. No, nothing has to be added like that. Understand? And use this section to help show how you would be a good fit for the company and why your interest could relevant to the employer. So example, if you're applying for a technology job, do you do coding or gaming? Which means you are always aware of the latest industry trends. So you can mention gaming, coding. And if you're looking for a management position, have you been a key member of the society or club which you shows the ability to work in a team? So here and all, if you mention cricket player, football player, basketball player, kabaddi player, whatever, then it means that you are having the tendency of a team member. You play a good team role because without team player, you can't be in sports, right? So it should be like that. Now, we have seen about the resume so far. And I am going to show you what a resume, how a resume should look little later. Before that, we will see another important topic, which is nothing but a covering letter. Okay, so covering letter is nothing but cover letter, which has to be attached with a resume. Certain organization expect that. Okay, and yeah, so covering letter, why we need a covering letter? So covering letter helps to introduce the individual to the employer and it helps to give a good first impression and demonstrates the employer that an individual has made an effort with the application. Helps an individual to put across all the points about why they feel they would be great candidate before the employer gets to your CV. Helps the employer to decide whether or not to read an individual's CV. Explains to the employer why an individual is interested in the job they are applying for. Allows an individual to highlight their strength. So these are the key point for the covering letter, why we are writing a covering letter. Next, I'm going to give you certain tips to create an effective covering letter. Your name, your contact details. So it is important so that the employer knows who the letter is from and how to get in touch with you. The name of the recruiter and the recruiter's address. So you're not supposed to mention like dear sir or madam. You're not supposed to mention like that. If you're submitting a letter, then it should be like to whom it may concern. If you're not submitting it like a letter, if you know who the person is, you need to write the person's full name with surname. Okay? If you know it. Otherwise, you can write to whom it may concern. And then the reason you're applying for the role and why you particularly want to work for that company, you need to mention. An overview of your experience and why you think you would be a great fit for the position has to be mentioned. Clear? So these are the tips to create an effective covering letter. And now what we are going to do is, these are the active words that you can use on your CV and resume. So I was telling you, you need to include all the details, relevant details, don't include unnecessary thing, and don't include certain thing just for adding. And I've told you don't give too much of informations also because it's just for a glance and all. I was telling you, right? I have an example. So the example is none other than my own self. You know what happened? Actually, to be frank, I wanted to be a soft skill trainer during my undergraduation second year. And I don't know exact path, what and all if I have, what and all I have to study to be a soft skill trainer. So what I did, I've read a lot of stuff. Like I have completed, before I complete my undergraduation, I have completed my postgraduate diploma in human resource management. And after completing for my undergraduation, I studied, my undergraduation was with BCom Actuarial Management. And then I've studied my post-graduation with Master of International Business. Along with I've studied MBA in Human Resource Management. What happened? I didn't stop from there. I have done certification in Human Resource Management, Advanced Diploma in Human Resource Management, Postgraduate Diploma in Human Resource Management. So I've studied all those things. And I thought if a person who studies human resource management can be a soft skill trainer. But no, it is not like that. And then I researched, and then what happened? After that, I couldn't able to be a soft skill trainer. So I thought, okay, let me go for a job. And then I started preparing my resume, added all my stuff. So actually, the thing is, my father's thing, my father will think that idle mind are devil's workshop. So yes, put me in a lot of activities. So I was an NCC player, I was a basketball player, and I used to play piano. I am a dancer. I know singing and all. So I had also all those things. So I have included everything inside the resume because I thought a resume should have all my professional details. So I've given maximum of my professional details inside it. What happened? I went and approached one organization. They called me for interview and all. The interview and all went very well. But after I know after that they're like, no, you're not getting shortlisted. Second organization, same thing. No, you're not getting shortlisted. Third organization, I was really fed up. I know they are going to tell me, no, I'm not getting shortlisted, but I'm curious to know the reason behind it. So what happened? I went and approached the HR. I requested the HR, let me know the reason why I am not getting shortlisted. Because this is the third organization and I'm coming and I'm not getting selected. May I know the reason why? And the HR asked me to wait for a few minutes. She went inside and she asked, and she came up with the answer stating that they are thinking that I am overqualified for that job. The managers thought that I am overqualified. So if I give that, they are thinking that that much kind of qualified person can't work here. And then what I did, I started editing my resume. Then only I started searching for job and one particular job, they have given the job description. I just included the detail which is really required for the information. Again, I'm telling, I am not lying anything. I'm just taking off certain unwanted stuff on the resume. So that particular job need MBA only. They doesn't want MIB. So what I did, BCom, I did MBA, BCom. Done. I didn't give my diploma, human resource management, advanced diploma. No, I didn't give all such things. Just MBA and then my undergraduation. And then in key skills, I have scrutinized certain key skills which is really required. And the technology part for an MBA graduate, MS Office, MS Excel is enough. And I have been done MS Excel, advanced MS Excel. Even I have done C Sharp, C++, .NET. I don't know why I've read all those things, yeah. But I've read. Yeah, but those things are unnecessary for that particular job. And I was a fool. I don't given all details on my resume, and I didn't get shortlisted for those two, three organizations. And then I edited my resume accordingly to the job description that is given, and I got the job. Yeah. So this is how a resume plays. So please keep that in mind and prepare your resume accordingly. Okay? Yeah. So this is the resume format. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the format in a bigger size. So this resume is a data scientist example resume. So you can edit your resume accordingly. Okay. So your name should be there on top, followed with the role that you're applying for, your phone number, your email ID, your LinkedIn profile. If you have GIT Hub profile, a link or whatever, you can add it here. And then the place which you're coming from. Below that, it should be summary or career aspiration. So inside career aspiration, you need to give why are you looking for the job? What kind of job you're looking for? So summary. So this is a summary of a data scientist. So data scientist with dash years of experience. So where and all they have experience, I have attached it here. So statistical analysis, extracting insights and solving business problem using Python, R and SQL, expertise in building scalable data solution, deploying machine learning model on cloud platforms such as the AWS and Azure, and collaborating with cross-functional team to drive business impact. Strong ability to collaborate with stakeholders to solve business challenges and deliver actionable insights that improve product functionality and customer experience. This is an example summary, right? So highlighting in the sense not with colors. So it should be plain black. You can make it bold, then that bold is nothing but highlighting, right? So after your summary, it should be your education. So I've given the education this side. Education, you should give your degree first, not your school or college name. It should be degree. Below that, your university or college name. And below that, grade. Grade is important for those who are freshers. For experienced person, grade is not mandatory. And year of pass out is again important for fresher. To know when you are passing out, is there any backlogs on your studies? Is there any gap in between your education? To know that your year of pass out is important. And being a fresher, you need to attach your date of birth also on the top. Okay. And after your education, you can give any kind of certifications that you have. So a certification is different from skills that you possess. So you need to give certifications, what and all certifications you have. And after that, I've given two kind of skills here. One is technical skills and soft skills. Both is important. So soft skills is nothing but personality traits. So about you, what kind of person you are and what kind of skills you possess. So technical skills. So inside machine learning. So supervised learning, unsupervised learning, deep learning for CNN and NLP. Like that you can give. Data and database. So about data and database, data analysis, data pipeline, data governance, data visualization. And if you are very good in data pipeline, data governance and data visualization, you can highlight them by like that. Okay. And then coming to cloud platforms, AWS and Azure. And if you're very good, you can highlight them again. And if it is required for the it is there in job description, then you have to highlight it. Okay. Then tools, what and all tools you can use and in which tools and all you are best, you can highlight them. Then comes the soft skills. So presentation skill, cross-functional collaboration, ownership and accountability, problem solving and statistical analysis, agility and adaptability. So you can use all these kinds of words in soft skills to make yourself look unique. And then comes the languages. See, if your native is Tamil, then put hyphen and give Tamil. If your native is English or Hindi, you can give accordingly. So English has to be a professional one, and here I've given Hindi as also professional. If you have got any kind of awards, not in your schooling, in college or in your PG, then if you are in work, suppose if you are an experienced person, if you have got any awards and achievements in your work, then you can mention that in awards. If you are a fresher, if you have got certifications or awards in your college, then you can mention that. So if being a fresher, you're not supposed to mention your awards, whatever you got in your school. Understand? And then comes the professional experience. This includes internship also. So you need to give the role name and the organization name, your starting date, and if it is present, if it is ongoing, then you need to mention as present. If it is done already, then you need to give the end date here. Just like example I've given here. Then you need to give description about the job, roles, and responsibilities in a detailed manner. Not very detailed. What is required, you need to give. The same way, if you go for another internship, you need to give that below. And keep this in mind again, arranging information in chronological order only. If you have not gone for any kind of internship, if you have done good projects, then you can skip this part and you can give like projects done. And in projects, then you can mention what kind of projects you have done, what are the tools and techniques that you have used, and you can mention the duration of the projects. So this should be your resume, and your resume should be of 1 page, not more than 1 page. If it is an experienced person who has to give lot of inside rules and responsibilities, for them it can be in 1 page added, right? But make sure that you make the alignment properly. Understand? So, yeah, that's it from my end. Thank you so much for your time and all the best for your future. Prepare your resume properly. Good luck, guys. All the best. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. I hope I have made you clear with everything which is possible mind.